Jimmy Carter visited the Northeast here, and much was made of his visit to Washington, Newtown, Washington Old Hall. And he instigated what he called a friendship force exchange. That was people from this Northeast region going across to somewhere in the States. As it happened for me, it was North Carolina. I was phoned one evening late on, and this guy said, he says, "Are you free next Friday night?" And I said, "Yes." He said, would you come to the States with us?" I said, "Not at all." I turned it down, you see, and I went off to bed. I was quite late. It must have been about 11 o'clock anyway. And my wife said, "Who was that on the phone?" I said, "Oh, it was so-and-so. He wants me to go to the States next Friday to play for these sword dancers." And she says, "What did you say?" I said, "I've turned it down." She says, "Get back on the phone and tell them." So I got back on the phone and said I would go, and it was a week, I think, or 10 days, which was quite interesting. A number of things stick in my mind. The idea was the first week we were there, we would be with one family, and the second week with another. That didn't materialise in my case because the children of the second week family had chicken pox or something, and they didn't want me there for obvious reasons. I found it interesting. We played in the open air in Raleigh in North Carolina, and the dancers danced, and it was very, very pleasant. And I was putting the fiddle back in the case at the end of the show. And remember, this is an open arena in a plaza in the middle of the town. And these two old ladies came across to me and said, "What do you think about Maggie Thatcher?" And I made some disparaging remarks. I didn't think very highly of her at all. And one of these old ladies says, "What are you, a commie?" And this sticks in my mind. Coming back, we got on the plane in Raleigh, and it went up to, I think, somewhere in Maine. And then it set off to cross the Atlantic. I fell asleep. And I woke up and I realised the sun was on the wrong side of the plane. The sun was on the left. And I said to the stewardess, I said, "What's happening?" I said, the sun's on the wrong side now. She says, everything's fine. And about 5 minutes later, the captain came on and said it had a fire in the starboard engine, which they'd put out. But they were having to return. They didn't know where they were going to land. As it happened, we landed in Gander, in Newfoundland, and they wouldn't let us through the airport because we were illegal immigrants. We couldn't go. They wouldn't let us go through customs. We had to actually stay in this concourse for 24 hours before a new plane came to brought us back home. I mean, interesting. The trip to Carolina was interesting in itself because I'd not played for sword dancing before. I'm not sure whether it was the Killingworth sword dance or the Royal Erston sword dancers, but yes, it was one or other of the groups. And this would have been, I think, 1979, right, or thereabouts.